been talking about issues with trucking and what the different problems are. And another problem that it's worthwhile talking about is issues with the shippers and receivers. Now, you have to give some leeway to shippers and receivers that are going to have just first come, first serve, because obviously, things with them are going to be a little bit more with trucks all coming in at the same time at some points in time. And so I understand that. I mean, my general rule of thumb is I feel that, 2 hours to get loaded and 2 hours to get unloaded is more than reasonable, but with the first come first serves, it is what it is. I mean, there's no appointment, so you have the leeway of getting there when you get there, and so there's kind of a trade-off with that one. But when you have an appointment, we're expected to be there on time. We're expected to do our job. We're expected to be adults. We're expected to be trustworthy. We're expected to be punctual. We're expected to arrive in a timely manner. So you get to the place on your appointment, like say a Walmart, and you check in for your appointment, and an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by, sometimes 4, 5, and 6 hours go by. And we're supposed to act like it's not a big deal. We're giving our time up for free. Say you make use 50 cents a mile because it's just an easy number to work with. Say you make 50 cents a mile. At 50 cents a mile, while your truck is moving down the interstate, just use 60 miles an hour, easy number to work with at 50 cents a mile. While your truck is moving down the interstate, you are making $30 an hour. And these shippers and receivers feel that they have a right to just take somebody who's making $30 an hour and just literally steal $30 an hour out of their pocket to take their sweet time loading and unloading a truck, taking hours upon hours upon hours to do this. I mean, I used to go to, there's some places I've been where I've spent a day and a half to 2 days just getting loaded between two shippers a half a mile apart from each other. I mean, how can you spend 2 days loading a 53-foot truck, sometimes not even all the way full? I mean, maybe half and 3/4 of the way full, and it takes 2 days to get your truck loaded. That's completely unreasonable. But truckers are expected to just suck that up and deal with it. I mean, if I'm expected to be somewhere and be punctual and be an adult and be responsible and be productive, why am I not supposed to expect the same from a shipper or a receiver? But they act like there's something wrong with me because I expect them to do the same quality of work that they expect of me. And that's another reason why, so many truck drivers are just, I mean, especially now with the ELD mandate, because now they're losing even more money. I mean, that's the part people don't understand. People have bills to pay. I mean, picture it this way here. Say you work at Walmart, or say you work in a convenience store, or say you work anywhere, and you go to work, and you're to work on time, and you're sitting there and you're doing your job, and at the end of the day your boss comes to you and says, well, you work 10 hours today, but I'm going to pay you for 3. That's what the shippers and receivers are doing to truck drivers. Because while you're sitting there at the receiver, you're working. Even if you're off duty or you're in the sleeper, I mean, you're stuck there. You can't make money. And if your clock's already rolling, you are working. You're losing money. If you don't, if the truck isn't rolling, you're not making money. I mean, truck drivers are paid by the mile. We're not paid by the hour. We're paid by the mile. That means the speed limit dictates our pay, and how many miles a day we drive dictates our pay. And when people are just stealing money out of our pocket, literally, I mean, honestly, if you go to work for anybody else and somebody did that to you, you can have them arrested for theft. This is the only job you'll ever do when you can't have somebody arrested for stealing from you. Literally stealing. I mean, when it takes them, when they just decide that, you know, it's okay for them to take 6, 7, and 8 hours to load or unload you, they are stealing from the truck, from the driver, and they just feel it's okay. And then, I mean, the people I work for, they pay our lumpers. But I still, because I look at it this way here. Anyone I work for, it's an investment. I'm not an employee. I'm an investor. Which is kind of why, you know, I don't want to get into it. But, you know, on the political side, that's why I think the whole tax system needs a complete overhaul. Because this whole thing about investing money and investing labor not being the same thing, I don't know. Whether you invest cash or you invest health, you're investing. And it should be taxed the same. The money you make from your investment is your return. So I don't understand how it's taxed different, but that's a debate for a whole nother time. But the lumpers. I actually get paying the lumpers to take the pallets off the truck. That makes sense. Because, you know, carrying the equipment that we need to be able to remove pallets off the truck, sometimes we wouldn't be able to put our full load on the trailer because then you got a pallet jack back there holding it up. And then there's, you know, it could throw your weight off. I mean, you got, like, for example, I got 500 pounds in chains on this truck because I need to be able to get over I need to carry chains on the truck to go over the Rocky Mountains. Pallet jack weighs another, what, 200 pounds? A good pallet jack, 200 pounds maybe? 150 pounds? I mean, and then, you know, I got my clothes in here. I mean, by the time all said and done, I mean, there's an extra 1,000 pounds on the truck already, just for my necessities. And so to throw a pallet jack on there, you know, it screws up what you can carry on the truck. So that makes sense. But what I get a kick out of is the receiver calls up a shipper and they make an order. And they say, yeah, we need this. And because all that stuff takes up the full trailer, it has to be put on the pallets, and the best to get as much of it on the truck as possible to save the receiver money on their shipping costs. How does the receiver repay for for saving them money? They actually charge, in the case if you're an owner-operator, they charge the driver, or in the cases with me, they charge the company, my employers, to take their stuff off the truck, but then they also charge us to restack the stuff. The stuff is stacked on the pallets in a specific way to save them money on their shipping costs, and to return the favor, they actually charge us for it being packed to save them the most money. How are you going to charge somebody for saving you money? I mean, that's like saying for example, you go and you make your orders on Amazon, and you say you order a t-shirt for your son, a cup for your wife, and a necklace for your daughter, some perfume for grandma, and you order it all from the same seller. So then the seller puts it all in the box. Then they send it to you UPS. UPS comes, and you see it's all in one box. So now you tell UPS, oh no, you gotta pay me because now I gotta separate all this. The shipper sent it to you in one box to save you money. And now you're gonna tell the UPS guy he has to pay you because you have to separate the stuff out of the one box because it wasn't in individual boxes. That's what the receivers do to not just the driver. If you're an owner operator, they do it to the driver then. But if you're not an owner operator, then they do it to the trucking companies. And it's another one of them things that just makes no sense. And it's another one of them things that just aggravates people. And it's right to aggravate people. There's no, because even the idea that I have to pay a receiver at a warehouse to do their job. What is a warehouse? What's the warehouse there for? It's to get the merchandise and then put it in where it needs to be, but then they're going to charge the trucking company that's delivering it to. Well, then why are we delivering it to a warehouse? Why isn't it just being where we go and then the driver can take and deliver it to all the different places, and then we could be paid the extra money for the stops? Why is it going to the warehouse? If the warehouse doesn't want to do, isn't charging, I mean, they need to, why are they charging us is the question. I mean, outside of taking the pallets off the truck, that makes sense. That makes sense for the lumper to take. But why are we being charged for them saving money on shipping costs? Because that's exactly why pallets are stacked the way they're stacked, to save them money on shipping costs. It doesn't make sense. You save them money, and then they're going to penalize them. So, that's another thing now. So, you have, between them slapping us around and stealing out of our pockets, just saying, oh, well, you're a responsible adult, and you're mature, and you're productive, but, we're a big business. We don't have to do those things. So they just steal money out of our pocket, holding us up for hours on end. They think they're all God and high and mighty. I don't know. and then they're going to steal out of either the owner-operator's pocket or out of the company's pocket for saving money on their shipping costs. I mean, that's another one of them things in this industry that it's going to have to be fixed.